Hello and welcome everyone to episode number 41 at the Indie Football Podcast. We are nearing the half century mark and we thought by signifying it by calling a certain new section of fans. So we decided to call Abhishek from We Talk Football, who has been associated quite closely with us over the last 2 weeks. So Abhishek, anyway, thank you so much for taking out this time. Now that I see Anukar sir with a proper scar, shawl thing, and I already spoke about Abhishek's entire background. I can see a PS3 CD over there as well. So I feel I'm in a very bland and boring background now, man.
Yeah,
but
the your background, though it is like Liverpool's midfield this season. It's like that.
uh, no, I think
Brandon.
my background is still better. Abhishek, I mean, we'll be. I mean, every time there's a new guest in our podcast, but we are really intent to know further on in your journey as not only as a PSG fan but also your earliest memories associated with the sport, with football. So please feel free to share your story with us.
Actually, football is something for me when I was in my childhood. From my childhood, I am so much into the sports, and this is completely different story. Like how I started loving football and how I started supporting PSG. Because when I was in India, I love to go Shimla because that is the city
Yeah,
which I have
yeah.
visited so much, and all over
Mhm.
India there are a lot of tourists. And secondly, internationally, I wanted to visit Paris because I have heard a lot of things about Paris. This was my dream city when I came here in Paris. So the one thing which I noticed that if you have to make friends here in Paris, so you have to start talking about football. So this is the compulsion here. So we can make friends anywhere and we can start conversation with anyone.
Absolutely, man.
And
So
Anukar sir, I think that's a very unique aspect of football that Abhishek has picked up because we have not stressed upon this fact enough that how football plays a certain part in a societal condition to unite people, right? So I think it's a small, beautiful story inside there.
yes.
Definitely, man. People can really connect. Even the most absolutely out and out of introverts. That is an oxymoron, of course. Can connect on the basis of football or say a sport like cricket, and I think that's the beauty of the game. Abhishek, what are your views on the Fab front three like Messi, Neymar, Mbappe? Like these are the players. I mean, people can dream about in their dream team and having them play week in week out. When you have players like Mbappe with 13 goals, Neymar who is in the top five when it comes to assists and goals, Messi again leading the assist start. How does it feel for your team to be dominating every day of every week?
I consider myself so lucky that I can witness them every week. To be honest, they are something like this is out of the world. Like having Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, I can't tell you my feelings
Express
about
in
that.
words.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
can't express in this words. I have no words for this. I would like to add something like as you said about the game,
Yeah, please.
how I fell in love with this game, because here in Paris we are comparing our game with our lives. Like here in our lives we have to achieve our goal, and for achieving our goals, like we have to improve our skills every time, and we have to make like defenders of other teams. You have to be like they are the situations of our life, and to overcome them every time you have to try again and again in your life also, and you have to improve your skills. You have to make new plans to achieve your goal in your life. This is the thing which attract the football a lot of fans. Like that's why this is the number one sports in the world. And coming to the point about Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar, as I told you, I can't explain this feeling. If you was a Paris Saint Germain fan and you was here living in Paris, so I don't think so. Like there will be questions about that. But the next like vision of Paris Saint Germain right now is UCL. We have to win the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of PSG's footballing culture and history because it's interesting that Abhishek puts it up now, and it was anyway part of our discussion in this episode that I remember during the COVID year in 2020, the Champions League final was between PSG and Bayern Munich. Even though Bayern went on to win the Champions League in a year that they went on to win six trophies, I guess it was included in the documentary, in the Bayern documentary. But that final, the preview of that final was all about how Neymar if Neymar could really bring that glory to PSG. And at that time, Messi was still in Barcelona. So PSG's a lot of what PSG achieved on the football field was on the shoulders of Neymar and Mbappe at that time. But Anukash, what do you think has been PSG's missing link when it comes to the Champions League?
What I personally feel is that it's all about the experience, and as soon as they win their first European trophy, which I think could come this year, but I mean, honestly, if that happens, then it will be, something of a trajectory or something of a dynasty that, say, Real Madrid has created, because honestly, we saw how they had been on a run of winning UCLs, how they had been absolutely dominating European football. Talking about the way forward, Abhishek, what do you think about their manager Christopher Galtier, and what do you think has worked? And talking about managers, PSG have had a trend of firing their managers, sacking them pretty early. What do you think? What is the whole say on the whole managerial scene and the current manager, and how you see him, as the way forward for the club?
Before answering this question, I would like to tell, as you talked before, we lack in the experience. Yeah, that's why we can't finish in the style.
That's a personal opinion.
Because I don't think so that we lack experience, because we have likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Marquinhos at the back, and Virati, who is playing from last 10 years with PSG. So I think we have experience, but what we lack was actually sports director. It was sports director Leonardo, if you know him. I think this is the thing we lack so much. We lack to win the UCL. Otherwise, in terms of players, I think we are much better than the last time. But at that time also we should win. If we can go to the semi-finals and finals and playing with the Bayern, and we were creating a lot of chances over there. And coming to the tactics of Christophe Galtier, actually he is doing great. If you know him well, that he is the guy who win the Ligue 1 title with Lille. He's someone who is known for his attacking football at the having three at the back, and same time very good defendingly. Because right now we have Hakimi, who can do up down all the time, and at the same time Nuno Mendes, who is doing great job for Portugal, and he have shown us what he can do in the big matches. It's just a great combination between Messi and Virati, and Galtier. He had made a lot of good connections with the team with his players. So this season I think we are going to have it. We are going to make it. We will have Champions League this year. I hope so.
Yeah.